Hello there, it's Olga. Welcome to the tutorial number 8 of my holiday series. There will be 25 of them in total. This time I'm going to create a 3D diorama card that can be folded totally flat and sent in an envelope. This one is also not as hard to create as it might seem, so let's get started. To create this project, I'll be using the dies from Amazing Paper Grace die set of the month for November 2021. I'll be using the 3 pine tree shapes plus some dies that are going to create the structure of the diorama. There are also some add-ons that you can use for embellishments. Now let me show you how to put it all together. To begin with, I had to do all the die cutting. So here I have the 2 of each pine trees, and I used both the cutting outlines and the decorative inserts. I used different shades of gray cardstock as well as the silver mirror cardstock. Then I have die cut this shape, which is the front of the diorama 7 times. This is what I'm going to need for my project. I'm also going to need the 2 sides of the diorama. And finally, I've die cut the sentiment banner, which is also the part of the set, out of silver mirror cardstock. Now I'm going to adhere the pine trees onto this piece, which is the base of the diorama, and I'll start with the largest tree. Actually, those trees are meant to be layered like this, and definitely you can place them one in front of the other, but I'm going to act differently this time. I'm going to offset them so that to create a forest effect. So I'm placing the first tree closer to the edge of that base piece, and then I'm applying some liquid glue and sticking it down. I'm going to use another pine tree die cut to attach it at the back side of that piece, and this way I'm just going to make the construction a little bit sturdier. Actually, it's an optional step. So what I'm doing is I'm applying some liquid glue all over the die cut, and then I'm placing it behind the first tree. And here I have the first layer of my diorama ready to go on a card. Now I'm going to work on the next one. I'm placing the next base die cut over the existing one, and then I find the position for the second tree. I'm going to shift it to the right side and overlap the first one a little bit, and then I'm going to stick it down. Now I'm going to attach the second tree die cut behind the first one, just like I did for the first layer. As always, you can find the list of supplies that I'm using down below in the description box, as well as on my blog. Then I'm placing the next third basic piece onto the previous ones, and I'm attaching the third tree, which is the smallest one, and it happens to be see-through. Then, as always, I'm placing another die cut behind the first one. And by the way, if you don't want your trees to be see-through, you can use just the cutting outlines. They work especially well with the patterned papers. This little die cut, which is the side of the diorama, has 5 slits in it, and those are for attaching 5 layers of the diorama. Besides those 5 layers, there's also the front and the back of the diorama, and for these 2 I'm not going to need any little tabs, so I'm trimming them off. I'll be assembling the diorama starting from the back and moving on to the front. You can see I have applied some double-sided tape onto the tabs of the side pieces, and now I'm going to attach the back of the diorama. The easiest way to do it is to fold the tab down like that, then place both pieces edge to edge, and then fold the tab over, and this way they are going to be attached. Then I'm going to repeat exactly the same process on the other edge of the diorama. Next, I'm going to attach the layer with the largest tree. All you have to do is to feed that little tab through the slit, and then you kind of pulling it down a little bit, and then it becomes fixed into place. I'm going to alternate the layers with the trees with the blank layers. So it will be the tree, the blank layer, a tree, a blank layer, and a tree again. Now when I have all the layers attached to the slits on one side, I'm going to use the tabs on the other side to attach the remaining edge. So again, I'm feeding the tabs through the slits and kind of pulling them down just slightly. The last layer to attach is the very front of the diorama, and again I'm using the tabs with the adhesive on them to do that. So this is what the structure looks like at the moment. The front of the diorama is meant for decorating it with the gift box dies that are included in the set, but since I'm going for the forest look, I won't be using them this time. Instead, I'm going to attach a sentiment banner there, plus a snowman image. This one was stamped and colored with watercolors and then fussy cut. The snowman image is from Christmas Characters stamp set by Paper Discovery. And by the way, if you don't want to do fussy cutting, there are matching dies included in the set. Then I'm going to attach both the snowman and the sentiment banner onto the card front, and I'm going to tuck the banner behind the snowman. As a finishing touch, I'm going to add a few silver star confetti onto the trees, onto the card front, as well as onto the snowman. As always, for attaching such tiny elements, I'm using a glue bottle with a precision applicator plus a pickup pencil. The finished card is super dimensional and it will make a great keepsake and a fantastic mantelpiece decoration. And as you see, it can be folded totally flat. It can be mailed in a 6 by 6 inch envelope. It is going to fit inside just fine. So thank you so much for visiting me today. I hope you enjoyed watching. I'll be back really soon with the next project, so keep an eye for it. See you soon!